Hi, I'm Dana, and I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to call this video, because the fun part of me wants to be like, glow up with me, we're going to look good, but the realistic part of me is like, this is just like general appearance maintenance that most female presenting, most women, a lot of people have to go through, you know? And that's what this is. You're gonna like do the maintenance that I feel like I have to do in order to look half decent, you know? So obviously I didn't have to start dyeing my hair again, but I feel just a little bit more like, I don't want to say like myself, but like I do much, much, much prefer the way I look with dyed hair, regardless of the colour, whether it's blue, whether it's red, whatever I've got going on at the time. I really enjoy having dyed hair and having like fun colours, even though red isn't that. Like red is a fun colour, but like I liked having the unnatural ones, you know, and this is obviously a lot more natural, but I'm still enjoying having it a lot. And it is just added maintenance that does kind of stress me out, and I hate noticing that like my roots are coming through and that I don't like the way it looks anymore. And even though I'm planning to like keep dyeing it for the good foreseeable future, I'm also like already concerned about what I'm gonna do when I don't want it anymore and I have to grow it out. Like that's the thing. Everything to do with my parents, everything to do with my life is just constant stress, and literally all I'm doing is dyeing and washing my hair. And tinting my eyebrows because I don't feel like I have eyebrows and I don't like my face otherwise. But I'm also like, I think part of the stress is that I'm never actually fully prepared for the thing that I'm about to do. Like, I really thought that I'd gotten my shit together and prepared everything here, and then I was like, fuck, I don't have any gloves, I don't want my hands to be stained fucking bright orange, you know? So I had to improvise, and I just find the entire thing incredibly, extremely stressful. I don't like that I can't really properly see what I'm doing. Like, obviously I'm currently doing it in my bedroom, which isn't the smartest idea, but last time I was in the bathroom for half an hour, my housemate started shouting at me, so I no longer feel able to like do things that might take a little while in my bathroom. So it has to be done in my bedroom, and I'm terrified of making a mess. I can't see what I'm doing properly, which I can't really see what I'm doing properly in the bathroom either because we've only got a tiny mirror. But like everything just feels like such stress, and every time I've ever posted a video like this, I will have multiple comments from people being like, you just need to do this. And then another comment from someone just telling me to do the complete opposite. And it's like, this is the kind of thing where people find what works for them. And that's all very well and good, but none of it seems to work for me. Like, ever. Like, I got fucking hair dye all over my pants, all over my chair. Like, hair dye got everywhere, even though I was so, so careful and tried not to let it happen. I ended up just taping the bags onto my hands because they kept sliding off and it was really pissing me off. Like, the entire process of this just vaguely enrages me, to be honest with you. Like, that's the thing, is it makes me feel angry the whole time I'm like dyeing my hair, tinting my eyebrows, sorting out my appearance. Like that's why I can't imagine doing like fake tan or being an actual like high maintenance person, because it just pisses me off. I don't want to have to do it. I want it to just be done and ready and not have to deal with it, you know? And I also want it to just stay done forever and not have to deal with it again in like every 4 to 8 weeks or whatever. It's like I'm aware that like my hair is already like I'm 2 months out from when I got it cut, and realistically I would like it trimmed and have it go back to the length that it was when I first got it cut. But the effort of going to a hairdresser's and explaining what I want them to do and having them actually do it, and especially when like the place that I went to last time was so good but is on a different continent to where I live, so I can't go back to the same place, but I do want the exact same haircut, just slightly shorter, you know? And it all, like I say, just feels incredibly stressful, and I don't really want to have to deal with it. And I know that realistically, I don't actually have to deal with it. Like, I can just not do these things, but then I don't feel good about the way I look. Like, it's not even that I don't feel good, it's that then I feel actively bad and negative about the way I look. I don't want to go out because I don't want people to see me. And I don't want to, like, make any videos or take any pictures or just, like, be in any way perceived because I don't feel like I look at all nice, you know? And it makes me also really angry that men don't have to do it. Like, I think that's part of what, like, plays into this. Like, I know that obviously lots of men do dye their hair and tint their eyebrows and do whatever else, but I feel like it's a much more, like, actual personal choice for most men than it is for a lot of, like, females and femme-presenting people and bloody blah, you know? Because it's, like, it feels like it's more expected of women, and I'm just gonna say women, but I mean, like, anyone that's, like, femme-presenting, anyone that's, like, trying to, like, I don't exactly acknowledge myself as a woman slash girl slash whatever, but I also, like, am perceived as one and thus feel like I have to mask and fit into that mold and be that person while trying to, like, maintain the things that I actively like about myself and what I want to do. And I feel like I have found a decent balance there, and I would like it if people didn't automatically, like, assume that I'm a feminine, female-y person, but they do because of the way that I look, and I understand and accept that, and it's whatever. But I just don't want to feel like I have to do this to look remotely decent, but I do feel like I have to do all this to look remotely decent. And it's the thing as well of like, it wouldn't suck so much if it wasn't that like people's perception, like the way people treats me does change, like when I had like very long natural hair and didn't wear any makeup and stuff, people were a bit more like, I got ignored more essentially, which I do prefer, I won't lie. But when I look like this, I get more like little compliments and people are a little bit nicer to me, and it is weird. I don't necessarily like it, but that is the way that it goes. That's the way the cookie crumbles. And it also really annoys me because I feel like, as you can see, like I'm coating all my hair. I'm doing this like fairly properly in regards to like where my talents and skills lay. Like I'm not doing a bad job of dyeing my hair here, and yet when I rinsed it out, it looked like I hadn't dyed my hair, like it did not take to my roots at all. It's just darkened up the red that's on the ends, and it's like I just want you to like fucking cover my stupid shitty roots, and it hasn't really. But that's the thing, is like so often it's like people will be like, well, did you do this and did you do this and did you do this? And I'm like, yes, I did all the things that I'm like told you're supposed to do for this kind of thing. Like I'm not a complete idiot, like I am pretty dumb. I don't really understand how this stuff works. It does all sort of scare me a little bit, but I'm aware of what it is other people do, and I try my best to replicate what other people do in every fucking area of my life, never mind just this. So I'm doing everything properly as far as I can tell, and yet people still just automatically expect that it's like me fucking up and not doing things right. And like I don't want to like fully say that it's definitely not that, because it could be, but I also don't think it is, because I feel like I have done things right, like you can very clearly see that my roots are like coated in dye that should have taken and stuck to my hair and dyed it, but it didn't. I don't know why, like you're about to see that like, oh, I don't know if you are about to see, I did wrap my head in cling film and I sat with it for like 40 minutes, like everything about it means that the dye should have taken it and it should have been fine, but it just didn't, and I may as well have not bothered dyeing my hair, and it's really like quite disheartening and annoying, and I don't like it at all. And that's why I feel like I'm only just starting to sort of venture back into like actually having self-expression through the way that I look and trying to like look like myself, because so often in my teen years I'd try to do little things to like make myself look different and to express myself and to like be a person, and it would just not go right, and people would be really mean about it, and I would feel like I was just like the cringiest, most like ridiculous weirdo ever. And so I don't feel like I really got to experiment with stuff as a teenager in the way that other people did, because it was like, if I wore a different hairstyle to school, I'd have kids be like, oh, do you think you're pretty, do you think you look good, oh, what an idiot. So it's like I wasn't about to like get a big haircut or do something weird with my hair or like in any way express myself, I was obviously gonna like stay kind of quiet and just try not to draw attention to myself, because the attention that I gained was really quite negative most of the time, and that wasn't what I was looking for. I wasn't really looking for any attention, but the moment I changed anything about my physical appearance, everyone acted like I was like really going out of my way to draw people's attention, when like it's just my appearance, it's just how I wanted to look. So I am enjoying being in like a more free place and being in a place where like my friends are very kind and supportive, and as much as I trust that they'd tell me if something looked awful, they also really hype me up when things look good, and I'm like, yeah, I feel good about myself. It's very, very nice. I've been tinting my eyebrows for quite a long time, but the thing is, I'm not sure how often you're meant to do it actually. I feel like it's like every like 3 to 6 weeks, and I do it probably like every like 3 to 6 months. I just forget about it, and then one day I'm filming a video and I'm like, I don't have any eyebrows. I'm full Matt Smith right now, like zero visible eyebrow. Because my eyebrows are just really blonde. I wish they weren't. And especially right now, having the red hair, I don't know if I should do it brown or red a lot of the time. And like, I don't want red eyebrows because I feel like it wouldn't actually match my hair, but also like the brown isn't matching my hair. So I feel like I maybe look a little bit silly, but I hope that I don't. And I feel like maybe one of my friends would have told me by now if I did look silly doing that. But that's the thing, is I just have so many concerns, and I'm constantly waiting for someone to tell me that I'm doing something wrong, or that something looks ridiculous, or that I'm like just an absolute idiot that doesn't know what I'm doing, which isn't far off the truth, let's face it. I don't know what I'm doing. This stuff does sort of confuse and panic me a little bit. And I feel like it's so much of it is just that I feel like I'm expected to do it, but then when I try to do it, I'm like, I've got to do it in my own way and it's got to come out like this, but I also need it to be like socially acceptable and not make me cringy and not make people think I'm weird. And I don't know why I try so much, honestly, because it's never fucking worked, but I still try quite hard, quite often. but not as often as other people. Like, I don't do this kind of maintenance as much as I really definitely should. And especially when it comes down to stuff like washing my hair, moisturising my skin, you know, like the actual dyeing and tinting of eyebrows and stuff is one thing, but this is the only way that I get around to like having like those big full self-care shower days that people talk about, you know? And it doesn't feel like self-care for me. It feels like absolute effort and like I need to take an actual self-care day to get over it. Like, I really find it very stressful and I don't enjoy it. But yeah, there's me moisturising. I've got a CeraVe one that I really should just put on like every day, but I just forget and don't. And then it's the process of doing my hair because I have curly hair, it turns out. So all of the years I got absolutely bullied the shit out of for having frizzy hair because my mum made me brush it every day. Thanks for that, mother. Turns out it's just fucking curly. So if I like put effort into it when I've just washed it and don't immediately just brush it out, I can get it to look a way that I don't hate. Like, I've had some nasty comments on some of the videos where I've talked about my hair before because people are like, oh, you think that looks good? And I'm like, no, but I do think it looks significantly better than how it looked before, which is good enough for me, frankly, at this point. Like, I don't need it to be beautiful, I don't need it to be perfect ringlets, I just need it to not be a frizzy mess like it was before. So I do kind of resent the amount of products that I have to use and the amount of effort that I put into it, but I'm also glad that I found a way that I can put this bit of effort in and then be good for like, let's face it, I'm good for like 3 days and then I should probably wash it again, but I am going to leave it like 2 weeks after that. But I'm doing the best that I can, and I'm not going to lie to you, it's not great, but it is the best that I can, so that's what I'm going to go with. You feel me? We are now drawing to the end of the video now, and honestly, as much effort as it took me to like remember to film all this and actually do it, I do feel like this is a bit of a cop-out video. I've been real fucking busy and stressed and anxious lately, and this is currently the best I can do. I needed just some random footage to do a little voiceover to. But besides it being a really lazy bit of content, quite frankly, I apologise. I do also really want to know if other people like really relate to this, because I know I've mentioned it before and people have said that they do, but it's just such a consistent struggle for me, you know, and it's one of those things that I do feel quite consistently like bad about myself for, which I know like everyone's always like, oh, you shouldn't feel bad, be kind to yourself, and I totally agree with that, and I appreciate you telling me because it does remind me to be kind to myself, but I'm also often like, oh god, bitch, just do your fucking hair so you look remotely decent, you little bog witch. Like, I'm done with myself a lot of the time, and you're about to be done with me too. So, I was about to go straight into like the final thing that I say. No, I post videos here on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, and they are usually a lot better than this one. So please do check some of them out if you haven't. If you like them, you can like and subscribe, and that'd be really cool. You can also follow me over on TikTok where I post like regular short form content, and over on Instagram where I post lots of fun little pictures glamorizing my life and not explaining how incredibly stressed I am, because that's where real life people follow me that I know. So you've got all of that, and you can also follow me over on Patreon or Ko-fi if you would like to donate to me monetarily and give me a little bit of money so that maybe one day I don't have to do all this shit myself and I can just go and sit in a chair and have someone else. No, I'm always got to do this myself. Sitting in a chair and having someone else do it actually sounds significantly worse than doing this. Screw that. But anyway, if you wanted to, you can. And this is what it was all for. It was so that I could go to London and see Hades Town and Spirited Away with my best friend, and it was lovely. So whoever you are and wherever you are, if you have a lovely morning, evening, day, afternoon, week, month, year, and I will see you again in a couple of days.